Good morning. You're watching Newsbeat.
Here's a look at what we're working on today. Residents are slowly returning to towns that were hit by Hurricane Michael. We got the latest on the cleanup and rescue efforts. Plus,
an update on how the U.S. is dealing with the disappearance of journalist Jamal Khashoggi.
And the guilty verdict that stunned Chicago. A look at the Jason Van Dyke trial. Newsbeat starts right now.
On today, a South suburban man among several Americans killed in the Ethiopian plane crash. Plus, new fallout over the 737 MAX 8.
And Jussie Smollett is back in court today. The latest on the Empire actor and the alleged staged attack.
And eyes are on Washington as President Trump sends Congress the largest budget in federal history. How much he wants for the border wall. Metro Minutes starts right now.
It's Election Day in Chicago and across the country. And if early voting numbers are any indication, the 2018 midterm election will be record-breaking. We have team coverage on our local races.
Plus, the campaign ads that went to the toilet. Really, a look at the wild campaign ads that most voters hope will go away after today.
And an Election Day shocker away from the polls. Blackhawks coach Joel Quenneville fired. What happened and who's stepping in? We begin with the high-stakes 2018 midterm election. Good morning, I'm Danielle Deasley.
And I'm Simone Malcolm. The polls are now open across Chicago and the country, but already nearly 35 million early votes have been cast. Here in Chicago, the totals have smashed the turnout in 2014.
According to Cook County Board of Elections, more than 270,000 voters have cast their ballots. Nearly 820,000 people voted early across the state. Those stats came from the State Board of Elections.
The race for Illinois governor was an expensive one. However, money may not be enough to help Bruce Rauner's re-election bid. Rauner, who prided himself as a business outsider, never fully recovered after the state went without a budget for 2 years. He's even struggled to gain support from his own party. According to the latest polling reporting on 538.com, Democrat J.B. Pritzker holds a 16-point advantage, 49-33 over Rauner. Last year, Rauner angered evangelical Republicans by backing a pro-choice bill he was once against. The deadly Legionnaire outbreak at a veterans home in Quincy also didn't help. Pritzker was dogged early after FBI wiretaps leaked of Pritzker mocking prominent African Americans during a conversation with then-Governor Rod Blagojevich. Then there's the toilet situation. Rauner's ad blasting the Democrat for ducking taxes by removing toilets from his mansion.
It's easy for you to sit on the sidelines and criticize when you haven't done an honest day's work in your life.
An October surprise in November involving the race for Illinois comptroller. A 7-second video leaks of Susana Mendoza announcing her run for mayor. The problem? Mendoza is on today's ballot for Illinois comptroller. Mendoza's camp says the ad was stolen, that she is not running for mayor and is instead focused on her re-election for comptroller. Republicans are calling for Mendoza to drop out of today's race. Interesting to see tonight's results. Mendoza is in a three-way battle against Republican Darlene Sanger and Libertarian candidate Claire Ball. Mendoza was picked during a special election in 2016 to finish out the term of Judy Barr Topinka, who died in office. Sanger grew up in Hammond, Indiana, and is a graduate of DePaul University. She ran for state representative in 2008 and lost. Ball is a member of the Libertarian Party of Illinois and was appointed to the College of DuPage's Budget Committee.
Illinois' 14th Congressional District, which covers Joliet, Naperville, and Aurora, is coming down to credentials. Trailing by as many as 6 points in the polls, Republican Randy Holtgren came out swinging last night, accusing Democrat Lauren Underwood of padding her resume. Holtgren staged a presser at a nursing home he says Underwood never worked despite her campaign ads. Underwood hit back quickly, accusing the incumbent of petty politics and maintained she is a registered nurse. If she wins, Underwood would be the first woman and the first African American to represent the 14th district.
Now to the race for Illinois Attorney General. The seat opened after Lisa Madigan announced last year she wouldn't seek a fifth term.
Let's take a look at the candidates vying to be the state's next top lawyer. State Senator and Democrat Kwame Raoul is going up against Republican Erica Harold. The race has been tightening over the past few weeks. Right now, the race is a toss-up.
It's a voting bloc many say is driving up the numbers at the polls. Women. 2018 has been hailed the year of the woman. Following the 2016 presidential election, the Me Too movement, and even the controversial confirmation of Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh, women are stepping up to make their voices heard. Some are running for office, others are voting in record numbers. I had a chance to speak to some of those voters about the issues driving them to the polls.
Young people around the Chicago area are calling for climate change action, and they say it needs to come soon.
We demand, secondly, that our governments take action now, that they take action today to halt the climate crisis, to halt the furthest extents of it.
Swedish 16-year-old Greta Thunberg inspired the movement just last year when she refused to go to school until Parliament passed the climate change legislation.
Why should we study for a future that is being taken away from us?
Students and supporters in 185 countries around the world have followed her lead. Over 4 million people participated globally, making it the largest public demonstration for climate change ever. In Chicago, students are calling on Governor Pritzker and other state officials to take action on a state level.
It's important because this is where we live. This is our heart. This is our soul. This is literally the place where we live.
With increased pressure, activists hope to see a change come soon.
I want the environment to have peace and love and nothing bad to happen to the environment.
Loud chants. Sing-alongs. Even instruments. All of this was used on Monday, April 1st in dueling protests of Kim Foxx. Some want Foxx to face the ultimate consequences.
I smell blood in the water. She's gonna go. She's got to.
Well, I was a state's attorney for 27 years. In all my years, there has never been any case that I can recall that was disposed of in the manner and fashion that the Smollett case was. Goodbye, Fox.
Others, such as Reverend Otis Moss III and former Chicago mayoral candidate Amara Enya, feel differently. They say the outrage should be focused on other things instead.
They are outraged about 16 counts being dropped, but they were not outraged about 16 shots. There was no outrage in reference to the cover-up, and there was no outrage in reference to police torture. There's no outrage around the $600 million the city is on the hook for.
So this is beyond, it's bigger than Kim Foxx. She is someone who is overseeing a very large office and has a hefty task ahead of her to make sure that the justice system works for everyone. But Chicago has been dealing with issues of disparity and justice for a very long time, and that's why we're out here.
Music, fun, and oh so many apples. The Lincoln Square Apple Fest has been drawing crowds for years.
This is the 32nd year. We love it. It's just a harvest festival in the middle of the city.
Everything in the festival is apple or harvest themed. From apple pies to apple funnel cakes to apple brats and hard apple ciders.
All right, let's give a round of applause to the winners.
The festival even hosts a dog costume contest with dogs dressed as sharks, dinosaurs, superheroes, and even bacon.
So this is the first year that Booker has come to Apple Fest. This is his first Apple Fest, and we decided to go as bacon and eggs because not only is it our favorite thing to have for breakfast, but I felt like it matches his coloring. He looks like a piece of bacon.
The festival has something for everyone, with families from the community coming to enjoy some of the fun.
A good place to bring the kids, and also just to get out, something fun.
Very family-friendly place.
Many of these vendors will be open throughout the year, but try to get a bite while it's still apple season. I'm Lizzie LeBow, reporting from Lincoln Square.